Hi, I'm Gail Wolfenden-Steep, and I'm here to show you how to have some fun with FOSSHAPE. FOSSHAPE is a thermoplastic fabric. It looks a lot like felt. However, since it's got the thermoplastic in it, it does set up when heat is applied. This is the lighter weight version. This is the 300. 300 is nice if you're trying to get more exacting detail in an item, and I'll be showing you a couple different processes where we're laying it over the top of a base and then working into the detail, and there's another finished example later on that also will be shown. This is the 600 weight FOSSHAPE. It's slightly heavier than the 300. It tends to hold up better for more abusive uses. For headpieces, for bases for headpieces, it's a lot more durable. Once it's been hardened, again, it's the same thermoplastic, it's just a little bit thicker and it's durable. And I'm going to use a steamer to activate the thermoplastic inside with the fibers. You can also use a heat gun. And all I'm going to do is apply the steam to it. FOSSHAPE has a shrink to it. When you go and put it behind or over something, or you stuff it, you can control your shrink more. You can start to see it shrinking, and it's starting to stiffen up. So here, you're all floppy. And here, it's stiff. It's not going anywhere. Because of the shrink that's going on, when this was originally pinned on, there was a little bit of gathering, but the shrink basically works its way out. It's kind of like ease for sewing. It'll just disappear. After it's hardened, you can cut it with scissors. And there you have a face mask. And once you've got this blank, you can take it and do some really interesting things with it, which is one of our examples, which is a Greek chorus. Now I'm going to show you what we can do with 600 FOSSHAPE. This is actually the basic, I believe it was McCall's Pattern Company's clown pattern for their headpiece. Nothing fancy developed. You can buy this commercially. I made up the headpiece in the FOSSHAPE. I then found my head form that was the appropriate size for the actor that I'm going to work with, and I took in a couple tucks to get it a little bit more fitted than what it was in the original pattern. And then next I'm going to steam it to get it to shrink up and solidify. You see it shrinking up and pulling up. I don't have quite as many pins as I probably needed on that edge, but it shrunk up nicely, and a lot of this does end up being trimmed away. There we go. A little of the excess is gone. And there you go. You can see it's not going anywhere. This one, it's a little softer still. But they're both the same 600, and it all started out with a nice flat, soft fabric that was easy to work with. And again, I'm going to start on the base. This head form is the size of my actor that I'm building it for. I've got allowed for a little bit of shrinkage here, so it sucks up nicely and will go up to that form. And I've got it pinned loosely. So there is a little bit of ease on the sides, so I'm allowing it to go in. So I've got my band fairly solidified, but I'm just going to take it and run my steamer. And I'm getting a lot flatter product too. Show you what I'm getting here. If you see this particular tine, how thin that's gotten and how much the fibers have compressed versus the next guy over that hasn't had the heat applied to the back. So, instant crown. I will go back in and give it a little bit of wiring just because, again, I'm going to be using it in a very rough and tumble situation. But for the most part, it's going to be wired, hot glued, and then spray painted so it looks like a crown, which we have a crown. Next thing we have is I need to make some fig leaves. And normally I would do them more soft sculpture. However, I also need to make Eve have, well, Eve wears her fig leaves in certain places and they need to have little lumpies underneath because a boy is wearing them. So this is my down and dirty, easy way with the FOSSHAPE. I did go and do some dimensional sewing onto my fig leaves so that I've created some additional dimensionality. So here's an example using the heat gun. You got to keep your eye on it, but you can see how fast it reacts to the heat gun, how much curl I'm getting. It's a much faster process, but you also run the risk, and I can show you in a close-up, I just sort of melted a little bit too much in an area. And this is set on low. I'm not using this on a high setting at all. But I'm getting a lot more of a shrink. So I now have a leaf. But what you want to look at, this is where it started to get too hot. And I started to have what could have been an accident. You can burn straight through it really easily with a heat gun if you're not paying attention. Okay, and this is yet another example of what you can do when you make your shape and stuff it. This was done, this piece on the lower portion was shaped over a dress form and just hit with the steamer. This was all done with the steamer. The larger piece was all shaped. This has got pie pieces on the interior to create the dome over a large cylinder, stuffed and done all on the form with the stuffing in. This is a separate piece of closed cell foam that does the porthole that actually opens and closes. But the balance of this is all FOSSHAPE. It's extremely lightweight. It's very, very comfortable to wear. It's been treated with layers of sculptor coat. And in this case, it's more of a hammered metal finish because we're looking for a turn of the century steampunk style diving helmet that is very, very lightweight. This is Charlotte. This is all the FOSSHAPE 600 on the interior all the way down. Everything has been stiffened. It's been reinforced with Ridgeline banding on the interior. And she's fully jointed. They're in separate pieces so she can move about because after all she is a spider crawling in her web. And it's extremely lightweight. It's on a backpack. This is part of the, it's the bodysuit that goes over the unitard of the costume. But this is all FOSSHAPE, very easy, simple to use. The time-consuming part was not the FOSSHAPE. The time-consuming part was putting everything together. But it's an awesome, awesome product. It's very fast, it's very simple, it's time-effective, it's cost-effective, and I highly recommend it.
For more information on FOSSHAPE, free sample requests, or ordering yardage, contact Brian Jeffrey or visit FOSSHAPE.com.